Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is October 7th. It is Monday, 2019. Now they were calling for an all-day rain today. Now we did have some rain earlier, but right now it's not raining, so I'll take it. It rained a lot last night, so it rained quite a bit last night. All right, so we're going to jump right into the topic, and I'm going to just kind of show you a very overcast day today here at the homestead. 10 ways to purify water. We're going to talk about these things, okay? So, safe drinking water is critical in a survival situation, or even if you're camping. You know, you have to have good drinking water, okay? So, depending on your location, water can be abundant or virtually non-existent. So obviously, like the people in Arizona, certain parts of Arizona, Nevada, Utah, and those type of places, there's not always a lot of drinking water available. Obviously, certain parts of California and stuff like that as well. So anyway, and Texas as well, and on that type of, it just really depends on where you're at. Other locations, like if you get up into the Northeast, there's water all over the place up here. All right, so anyway, water can come from freshwater sources such as streams, creeks, ponds, lakes. If you can distill the water, if it's blackish or salty water as a source of water as well. So even salt water actually can be used as a source of water, but you would have to distill it, okay? And that's one of the ways that we're going to talk about as far as one of the 10 ways to purify water. But let's see. You can also use regular rainwater if it's raining, as long as there's not like a lot of trees and stuff. You can use water right from the sky and drink that pretty much right away. Oh sure, now I said that it's not going to rain. Let's see what it's doing here. Alright, anyway, but you can use snow, sleet, hail, ice, and these can be collected and used as well, okay? And so that's, fresh snow, as long as, it's not got tracks through it and stuff like that, you pretty much can just melt that down and drink that. Alright, so the number one form that I have on here is going to be boiling. Boiling is the most common form used by most people as far as purifying water, because if you don't have anything else, if you can boil it, you're going to get rid of a lot of the pathogens and stuff like that, okay? Chemical pollution and stuff like that, it will not remove that. But it gets rid of all the other stuff that, as far as that goes. So, you're going to, the best way to do it is have that at a rolling boil for at least 5 minutes. If you can do 10 minutes, it's definitely going to be safer, okay? So, that's higher elevations, you would want to boil it longer. So the higher up you are, like if you're up in the Rockies, way high up there, you're going to need more boiling time than if you're on down in the plains. So the next thing would be distillation. This is the best way to do it. If there's radiation, lead, salt, heavy metals, many other contaminations, it's gonna clear that out, and you're going to be able to drink that water if you use distillation. Okay, so you can use a pressure canner, and some small copper tubing is a good way to do distillation. And so where the gauge is, that's where you're going to put your copper tubing. And so that way you can use that pressure canner for its true intended purposes afterwards, if you can, process meat and stuff like that. But it's a good way to use that as far as distillation goes. Hold on a second, I'm going to my next page here. Now you can also, as far as distillation, you could take like an area that's open to the sun, use a plastic sheet, put vegetation in there, and use that as well. Okay, that's another really good way to do it. And you can like run straw down in there, so you don't have to take it all apart to drink your fresh water. But using that vegetation or really moist sandy soil or something like that, that will also work as far as that goes. Okay. Number 3 is going to be survival straws. So everybody knows about survival straws, so I'm not going to go into great detail about them. There's all kinds of different ways that you can do that, all right? And then you have filters, okay? So there's 2 different kinds of filters that you can use. You can use the pump action filters, which they have available that you can, pump the water in, it filters it through, or you can just use the gravity filters where it processes through and drips out. The Katadyn pocket filter. I've talked about my Katadyn system, guys. Very, very highly recommended. I have no affiliation with Katadyn at all. I always like to try to make that clear so people don't think that I'm trying to pump something that I sell. I don't sell them, but it's just a really, really good product. It's expensive, but well worth it, okay? And they're very, very lightweight, and if you're on the move, it's a really good way to do that, okay? If you have time, obviously, like the Berkey filters are a great thing to have if you have the time, all right? So the next thing is going to be UV light. Okay, so basically they have, it's very damaging to small organisms when used as a disinfectant. It makes, it's very effective. Now the best is to use it with clear water if you're going to use the UV light system, okay? The next one that they have on here, number 6, it's called SODIS, which is solar water disinfection. All right, so you're basically using the sun's energy. A lot of times you're just going to use a clear plastic bottle, and you're going to let that sit in the sun for basically a day, and then that's going to work for taking care of that. And so that's a really, really good way to do it. So, but you definitely want to let that sit in the sun for a day if you're going to, and obviously you're going to use more clear water with that. You're not going to use cloudy or murky water as far as using the sun to do that. And it's really cheap to use that way. But if you have the time and you can do that, that's a good way to do it. Okay. Next, number 7 is going to be disinfection tablets. They're 99% effective against waterborne pathogens. So they're really, really good to use as far as that goes. And again, you're going to use that the tablets. You're going to let them sit in there for about 30 minutes, and and then just you can drink the water after that. So that's one way of doing it. Number 8 is going to be using household chemicals. So what would you be using? You'd either use bleach or iodine. Okay. If you're using bleach, you're going to use either. Hold on a second here. You're going to either use 2 or 4 drops per quart. All right. So if it's clear water and warm water, you're going to use 2 drops. If it is, not as clear and it's kind of, if it's cold water, you're going to use 4 drops. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to let that sit in a dark place or in the shade for at least 30 minutes. Once you open that back up, and then once you can smell it, if you don't smell the bleach smell, then you definitely need to add at least 1 to 2 more drops and let it sit for another 30 minutes, okay? With the iodine, you're going to use 5 to 10 drops per quart. And again, if it's that murky water and stuff like that, it would be the 10 drops. With 10% iodine, which is weaker, you're going to need to use 8 to 16 drops, okay? So let me get to this other page. All right. Now, number 9, you can make your own filter. You can use it with wood, okay, believe it or not. If you got a tubing, and you can take like pine is a good one to use. And you take that chunk of wood, you take the bark off of that, and you put that in that tubing, and you can actually filter the water through that, and it will really do a good job in getting rid of a lot of the bacteria and stuff like that. So believe it or not, that works. Now number 10, you're going to love this one. Just drink the water raw, okay? If you are in a situation, guys, where dehydration is about to kill you, and you come upon some water, and you don't really have the time to disinfect that water, it is you're obviously taking a chance with doing it that way. But if you are It's better to be alive and have to deal with the pathogens afterwards, or dead and pathogen free. So if you are in a situation where it's dire, and you got to remember, you're talking about 3 days of water, without water, and you're dead. So if you come upon water and you don't have the time to clean it, and you don't have the things to clean it, then the best thing to do is just go ahead and drink it and take your chances. You can deal with the dysentery and stuff like that afterwards, but at least you'll be alive. So now another thing I did want to mention, way of collecting water, is in the mornings. First thing in the mornings, if you come out, there's usually a dew on everything. You can collect that water off those as well. And there's another, like with a rag, and use that to collect water. And that's good drinking water as well, believe it or not. Because if you, especially if you live in the north and you come out in the morning and there's that dew on everything, that's going to be a good source of drinking water as well. So just so you know. So I hope this helps. I hope this is going to give you some good information as far as that goes. And so I did want to mention really quickly, there's today and tomorrow's the last days of the sale as far as the mega sample bucket with Legacy that can be found on my website. The normal price is $360 per bucket. It's on sale right now for $228, which is a 40% savings. Okay, so if you are interested in that, I just got an email. They have 33 of them left before the sale's going to end. So the sale, this could be the last day of the sale depending on how the sales go. So just letting you know, if you were waiting for the last minute to do it, they might not be available tomorrow because the sale does end tomorrow. So just letting you know ahead of time. So if you're looking to take advantage of that, please check it out on my website. The price has already been reduced for right now. And that, like I said, once the sale is over, then it's going to go back to the normal price. But so just wanted to put that out there for you guys. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope your weeks are starting well. Mom and I are actually working in the shop again today. I will do another video later giving you guys an update of what we've been working on in there. But so that'll be a whole different video. But had the pups out for a while this morning. Probably had them out here for about an hour and a half. And they were very happy running around. But so now they're back in for right now. I'll bring them back out later. And obviously the whole time I've been doing this video, you've heard Goliath crowing the whole time. So chickens are doing well. And so anyway, guys, remember, we are all in this together. That's important to remember. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day, tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. Also remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there is you. Nobody else can stop you, okay? I hope everybody's doing well. Excuse me. I will talk to you all later. I look for another video later. I'll definitely do a second video today, okay? I will talk to you all later. Have a great day. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.